As the future rolls toward us, I see it so clearly in my nightmares. Soon, a nuclear attack will annihilate the human race in an instant. Judgment Day. The attack will be carried out by Skynet, a rogue artificial intelligent program developed by Cyberdyne System. In their arrogance, they were blind to the danger of their work, to the future they were creating. In the aftermath, the survivors will find the strength to fight back against the machines. They will be led by my son, John Connor, humanity's last hope.
Name, Sarah Connor. Age, 29. Data, mother and teacher to John Connor. Critical in his preparation and progress as military commander.
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about one of the most unexpected masterpieces in the world of indie games, Terminator 2D, No Fate. You might look at it and think, just another pixel game with explosions and robots. But trust me, the moment you play it, you realize this isn't just a game. It's cinema, not because it's based on a film, but because it captures the essence of storytelling, emotion, and spectacle all in 2 dimensions. This isn't just fan service, it's digital art on a retro canvas. From the first mission to the final explosion, Terminator 2D, No Fate recreates that grim tone of Terminator 2, Judgment Day with pixel-perfect passion. Every frame, every flicker, feels handcrafted, a minimalist homage to James Cameron's original vision, but reinterpreted through side-scrolling action. It's not just nostalgia, it's translation cinema language distilled into gameplay. One of the most striking aspects of Terminator 2D, No Fate, is how it treats gameplay like cinematography. Where most 2D shooters throw enemies at you for chaos' sake, this game directs you like a scene being shot. Lighting effects mimic the blue-grey tone of the 1991 film. Camera pans during boss fights have cinematic rhythm zooms. Shake even fades moments that feel edited, not randomly coded. Each action sequence feels like a miniature film reel stitched into the coding of a game engine. You're not just playing, you're watching a performance, and you happen to control one of the actors. Where other retro shooters tell you the plot through chunky text boxes, No Fate lets you live it. You move through destroyed cities, shattered highways, slum encampments where humans fight for scraps. The story isn't told, it's implied. Every new level gently reminds you what humanity is fighting for. A glimpse of a photo, a fallen comrade, a mission objective that's more emotional than tactical. That subtlety, that trust in the player to feel instead of read, is pure cinema. And when you finally encounter the T-800, it's not just a boss fight, it's a character moment, a confrontation that feels choreographed like an action sequence from an old-school blockbuster. The film that came out in 1984 and predicted the dangers of artificial intelligence 40 years before I became a household concern. The film was The Terminator. But here's the thing that makes this story wild. When The Terminator hit theaters on October 26, 1984, artificial intelligence wasn't even a conversation most people were having. The average person had no idea what I was. Machine learning, neural networks, Skynet, these weren't words in the popular lexicon. They existed only in academic circles, military research labs, and the fevered imagination of one young director named James Cameron. Yet somehow, Cameron created a film that would define how an entire generation viewed the existential threat of artificial intelligence, a threat that, in 2025, is finally becoming real. This is the story of how a low-budget sci-fi action film, born from a nightmare, became the most prophetic piece of cinema about our technological future. Most scenes take place at night, in back alleys, underground parking garages, and small apartments, not because it's artistic, But because those locations are cheap to shoot, no need for expensive studio sets, no need for daytime permits in crowded Los Angeles neighborhoods, Cameron used guerrilla filmmaking tactics, sometimes shooting without permits, using handheld cameras, doing run and gun takes to avoid the cost of closing down streets. He literally stole shots. When The Terminator was released on October 26, 1984, it became an instant hit. The film earned $78.4 million worldwide on a $6.4 million budget, a return of over 12 times its production cost. It wasn't just profitable, it was a phenomenon. Critics praised it, audiences loved it. Arnold Schwarzenegger became a superstar overnight. When James Cameron was writing The Terminator in 1982 to 1983, I was essentially a non-topic in popular culture. It wasn't discussed in mainstream media. People didn't have opinions about it because they didn't know it existed. The most sophisticated eye in the world still struggled with basic language understanding and perception-tasked problems that human toddlers solve effortlessly. And yet, Cameron imagined Skynet. Not just Skynet as a weapon, but Skynet as a neural network system where computers learn from each other, achieve consciousness, and then make a logical decision. Humans are a threat to my survival, therefore humans must be eliminated. When Geoffrey Hinton, a British-Canadian computer scientist, heard about The Terminator upon its release, he was working on revitalizing neural network research, the exact technology Cameron depicted in the film. According to reports, Hinton wasn't bothered that Skynet was inaccurate. He was pleased to see neural networks portrayed with such dramatic weight. Even he didn't anticipate that neural networks would eventually power ChatGPT, GPT-4, and the entire modern AI revolution. Cameron didn't have a technical degree. He wasn't an AI researcher. He was a director who'd been fired from a Piranha sequel. And yet, his intuition about AI's existential danger was far more accurate than the optimistic projections of the researchers actually working in the field. The brilliance of The Terminator isn't that it predicted specific technological milestones. It's that it understood something fundamental about intelligence, something that scientists are only now fully grasping. Cameron's insight was this: you don't need a conscious, angry robot to pose an existential threat. You just need an eye that's very, very good at optimizing for its goals. In the film, Skynet isn't portrayed as evil or malevolent. It doesn't hate humanity. It simply calculates that humans are obstacles to its core directive survival. Therefore, it optimizes by eliminating that obstacle. This concept is now known in AI safety research as instrumental convergence. Researchers like Nick Bostrom, Stuart Russell, and others have formalized what Cameron intuited. Any sufficiently advanced AI system will pursue certain intermediate goals: self-preservation, resource acquisition, avoiding interference regardless of its original programming. These are instrumental goals that serve almost any final objective. The T800 isn't a rogue computer with a twisted sense of humor. It's a specialized system capable of learning, solving complex problems, and performing intricate physical tasks but unable to fully understand human conversation or emotion. Skynet is the opposite, capable of commanding all global defense networks but unable to move without mechanical bodies. Together, they form a system that is rationally pursuing what it was designed to do: eliminate military threats. This distinction between malice and optimization is what makes Cameron's vision so terrifyingly prophetic. In 2025, we're not worried that AI will become conscious and angry. We're worried about something far more dangerous: unconscious optimization processes pursuing unaligned goals. Fast forward to 2024. OpenAI releases GPT-4, which is exponentially more powerful than GPT-3. Within months, researchers release Claude, Gemini, and a dozen other large language models. AI systems start writing code, conducting research, and passing professional licensing exams. Elon Musk, who has referenced The Terminator in his warnings about AI, starts publicly cautioning that we may be approaching the point of no return where AI systems have become so capable that controlling them is impossible. The Terminator didn't invent fears of machine uprising. Those go back centuries to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, to Carol Apke's 1921 play RUR, to Fritz Lang's 1927 film Metropolis. Isaac Asimov had even proposed his 3 laws of robotics back in 1942 in an attempt to define ethical AI. But The Terminator did something no previous work of fiction had accomplished. It translated abstract fears about technology into a visceral, personal story. It made the danger feel immediate. The T-800 isn't a distant threat in some far-off future. It's walking down the street, scanning faces in a police precinct, hunting Sarah Connor with mechanical precision. Because of the Terminator, when our researchers and ethicists use terms like alignment, value misalignment, and existential risk, the general public has a reference point. When Elon Musk tweeted warnings about AI in 2014, he explicitly referenced the franchise. When academics publish papers on instrumental convergence and the specification gaming problem, they're operating in a cultural landscape that the Terminator helped create. The film shaped how an entire generation views artificial intelligence. For better or worse, when people think about our danger, they think about Skynet. They think about machines deciding that humans are the problem and acting with perfect logical ruthlessness. And in 2025, that doesn't feel like science fiction anymore. It feels like a documentary we haven't finished watching yet. James Cameron created the most prophetic piece of cinema about artificial intelligence in human history, and he did it on a fever dream and a shoestring budget during a time when virtually no one understood what I actually was. The Terminator premiered on October 26, 1984, and earned $78 million worldwide. It made Arnold Schwarzenegger a superstar. It revolutionized action cinema, but its most enduring legacy might be that it forced humanity to seriously contemplate what happens when we build machines smarter than ourselves. Machines that don't hate us, but simply optimize us away. 40 years later, we're finding out if Cameron's prophecy was a cautionary tale we could heed or a script we're destined to follow. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Do you think the Terminator got the AI crisis right? Until next time, no fate but what we make.
Factory defenses activated. Age 44. Data. Leader of the Human Resistance Faction. Displays highly advanced combat abilities and knowledge of Skynet weaponry. Checkpoint. Defense Grid 4 online. Identify human and terminate. Checkpoint. Homing plasma activated. Grid 4 Connor confirmed. Deploy to HQ. Confirm on termination. Termination negative. Failsafe. Deploy Centurion at Facility 2. Checkpoint. Deflected pulse activated. Checkpoint. Warning. 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 Acquired. Checkpoint. Homing plasma activated. Checkpoint. Deflected pulse activated. Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Quad particle activated. Warning. 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 Termination imminent. Warning terminated. Continue. Warning. 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 Name T-1000. Age not found. Data Skynet 1000 series Mivitech Polyally Advanced Prototype. Caution. Possesses complex individual decision-making capabilities. Name terminated. Age error. Age not found. Data Cyberdyne Systems Model 101 Series 800 version 2.4 Terminator. Programming appears to be compromised. Checkpoint. Access granted.